Hello and welcome. My name is Mabel Kebirungi, speaking to the ever lovely sports commentator Anita Karungi. Good to see you, Anita, as always, and I fondly call you Karungi. We're here to talk about tennis. Now, the Paris Masters is over, but Karungi, what stood out for you?
Well, in our previous conversation, we had said that there was a statistic that if both Yannick Sinner
Yes.
and Carlos Alcaraz had entered a tournament since 2024, one of them has won it, and Paris was no exception. Yannick Sinner lifted the trophy on Sunday, and he beat Felix Auger-Aliassime in the final in straight sets. And what can I say? He's really ending the year really, really strong, despite having missed 3 months in the beginning of it. He's now
Yes,
retained
because of the
his
family.
world number one. He has taken back the world number one spot away from Carlos Alcaraz. But it's not all over yet for Carlos. During the ATP finals, we'll have a big competition because that will determine who will become the year-end world number one. Other standouts for me in Paris, I mean, Valentin Bachero. We were all looking at him after he won the Shanghai Masters, trying to see, was that a fluke? Like, what is he going to do now? And he kind of backed it up. He actually made it to the quarterfinals, and on the way, he beat his cousin, Arthur Rinderknecht. So those two are making it a
Again.
meeting in Masters 1000s. But good for him. He's made his top 30 debut, and what a year he has had. And also shout out to the Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime. He's proving himself to be an indoor specialist because when it comes to indoor season, the results are resulting. He definitely has a very good record in this type of environment. There's something about an indoor tournament that he loves, and he made his second Masters 1000 final. Unfortunately, Yannick Sinner was a class above and took the title.
Talking about results resulting, but if we move on to the ATP finals for the men, is the math mathing, or should we get out our calculators to see who will end on top at the end of the year?
Definitely, we need to do some number crunching because, the qualification for ATP finals has not yet been complete. Usually around this time, the top eight have separated themselves from everyone else, the top eight players that is of the year, and it's determined that they have qualified for the ATP finals. But right now, the eighth spot is still being contended by Felix Auger-Aliassime, who I just mentioned, who reached the Paris final, and Lorenzo
Yeah.
Musetti. There's a lot of watching of numbers that's happening, including for the year-end number one, which I had mentioned previously, because entering into this tournament, there is a lot of scenarios that can happen where either Yannick Sinner or Carlos Alcaraz can reach number one. A lot of if you win three matches, if he reaches the final, but this other one doesn't, go past the semifinal. There's lots of different variations of what could happen, and I think that makes it so exciting for this last tournament of the year.
Yeah. So for the ladies, on the other hand, it has been smooth sailing for Sabalenka, and we already know her position. But in Riyadh, there is the tournament that is already underway, the WTA. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, the WTA finals has already kicked off. We already have our top eight vying for the last big title of the year. And Sabalenka was crowned already the year in number one. Really, she has had the strongest season of anyone, and there was no one really to challenge her. Iga had at one point we thought maybe Iga could do it, after she won Wimbledon and Cincinnati, but she only reached the quarterfinals of the US Open. And after Sabalenka won that, she really extended her lead, and no one else could come close after that. I think she's one of the favorites to win the WTA finals. I think I would say Sabalenka, Iga Swiatek, and Anisimova. They look really, really strong. But anything can happen. Rybakina could easily
Yeah.
show up and have her best day. She's had to beat when she's at her best. Jessica Pegula for me is a wild card. I never know when she's gonna win or lose anything. And Coco Gauff, unfortunately, I don't think she's going to defend her title. She won the WTA finals last year, but honestly, she's been struggling a lot with her form. But there's stiff competition, and it's just exciting to watch the last female women's tournament of the year.
Speaking of Riyadh, I've heard of a Riyadh season, and there was an announcement made about 2 weeks ago about a new event added to the calendar starting in 2028. What are your thoughts? What are you feeling about that ATP that has been added?
Yes, there will be a Masters 1000 event in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be the 10th Masters 1000 event and the newest edition in 38 years, which is crazy. But I don't know
Mm.
if it's very surprising, if we're being honest. A lot of tennis tournaments are moving to Saudi Arabia. We have the WTA finals, which are currently being played in Riyadh. And just last month, we had a Six King Slam where six players are invited to participate in a 3-day tournament, and the winner takes home the biggest prize in tennis ever, which is $6 million. So the Saudi Arabians are throwing a lot of money into tennis, maybe into sport in general. So it's not a surprise that our 1000 tournament is now going to be held in Saudi Arabia starting in 2028. But it's interesting when you think about this new addition. Is it serving the sponsors? Is it serving the players? Is it serving the tennis association itself? Who exactly is benefiting from this? One would think players should be a priority, but they have already been complaining about the calendar year, that it's been too long and too
Mm.
strenuous. So adding another 1000 tournament, which is already so huge, is going to be, it's going to affect the calendar in not the best ways. I don't think it's going to have a positive impact. Yes, it's going to be just 1 week long, but where are you going to fit it in? Where is that 1 week going to come from? And is it going to be at the detriment of the smaller tournaments? Because the calendar is already packed. It's 500 events this week, and then 250s next week, and then 1,000 in the next 2 weeks. So who is going to suffer because of this addition? And players are going to now opt out of 1,000 tournaments. Usually 1,000 tournaments are mandatory if you're a top 50 player. But now with like 10 of them, it's impossible to play them all. Even this year, we saw some top players missing some 1,000 tournaments. So to add another one, will it benefit the fans if the person you want to see doesn't show up? It's also, there's so many
Mm.
variables to think about, and hopefully they'll have sorted everything out in 2028 when it finally starts.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Anita Karungi. And it gives us more to talk about, definitely. And for sure, what Saudi Arabia is doing in terms of sport, I think also deserves another video that we could actually talk about. We don't only have to talk about tennis, but I know they're doing so much in regards to football. Well, thank you for your time. Do take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.